Well, it's bizarre to think that 2 last-minute incidents against the same side, home and away, has cost us 2 points. That's a bizarre twist of, an unfortunate twist of fate, that's for sure. Well, I mean, I start beyond that, really. I thought we've come down here with the right mentality to perform against a very good side. And I thought we worked diligently to soften their threat. I can't say stop it because they've got threats from all over the pitch, but we softened their threat. We looked effective at times on the counter, which you have to do at places like this. So I was generally pleased with all of that. And then, they get the lad sent off. I haven't seen that one. I don't know whether that's a sending off or not. And then we've had to work really hard to get something because they're packing numbers behind and then breaking themselves, which they do effectively. And we get back in it, and then you can't believe the decision because, I mean, the mad thing about it now is you're probably all aware that they have to sort of wait until something happens before they get the flag up. But if you think about it, before he just put his flag up because he's offside. So then he has to wait, and then the ref gives a decision. Now the linesman has to be brave because he's under pressure now. He's thinking, oh, God, he's given a penalty. What do I do now? Kind of thing. I don't mean he's literally thinking that. Whereas if he just put his flag up, he's offside. We all know, some of you might have seen it, he's offside. Simple as that. So that's really, really disappointing. What do you do? It's one of them things, but we can only hope over a season we get something back.
But the challenge isn't, Ben doesn't make the challenge, does he?
Well, exactly. He has to make the challenge because the lad's already a body in front of him that's offside. So now he has to work extra hard to try and get around him to make the challenge. So he wouldn't have had to have made the challenge because if you get what I mean, if he was level with him, Ben would have dealt with the ball anyway or it would have went out. Pardon? I'm not sure. I mean, earlier on in the game, Giroud goes for an overhead kick, and I mentioned to the fourth, I went, surely that's dangerous play in the middle of the box, and he said, well, he wasn't close enough to it. So then the one against Ben, he's clearly going for the ball. He's only got eyes for the ball. The lad's stooping to head it. It's an honest challenge, but that aside, we don't have to worry about that because he's offside. So the linesman has to give that. No, is that not so good then? I haven't seen it, no. I'm sure it'll be shown. Well, you don't want to be crying it in. We just hope for balance over the season. When you're playing these top sides, you need everything. You need you to play well, to stop them playing well, if you like. You need, a bit of the rub of the green sometimes, which I don't think we overly needed today. I thought we defended by good shape and good habits. But you certainly need the officials to do well. And overall, they did more or less, the right decisions at the right times. But I don't think at this level you can get that one wrong because it's so clear. We're not talking about an inch or anything. We're talking about sort of 2/3 of a body's width. I think, that has to be given.
Pep Guardiola speaking about wanting to speak to Mike Riley. Is that something you
I don't think there's any point because the difference with today is however many people out there are watching it saw it. So really what you're going to prove, it's just a bad moment. It's unfortunate because it costs us another point and that's 2 against these. But you just like to say, you hope over a season that generally I think the officials are good. I like the officials, what they do in the game because it's very tough. I've spoken quite clearly about retrospective banning on cheating, which would make their job even better and even easier. But today is nothing to do with anything other than a moment in time when the linesman doesn't make a decision, which is, well, I think quite obvious. At this level, that's an obvious one.
You didn't play like a team that only got 1 point away from home. It looked like you were more than capable of getting a result.
Well, the mentality's been good. For early season, it wasn't. I try and be honest with these things. Early season, we weren't good enough. It's simple as that. Didn't play well enough away from home, didn't deserve anything. But the last, certainly 2, 3, maybe 4 games, we've certainly, I think, delivered enough to get something. I thought we were decent down at Tottenham, at West Ham, second half particularly. Not so much first, second half, very good. And today we've come to I must say, credit to them, they didn't stop themselves either. I mean, you've got to remember, these are players fighting to try and win something for their club. And, I don't want to get too carried away with the decision. They kept coming, even with 10 men, they tried to play. Of course, they packed the defence as well, but they broke out, they keep the ball well, and all of them things. So I don't want to start getting involved in too much of that. But we came here with the right mentality today, the right structure, a team willing to perform. And that we have done over a number of games, or certainly the last 3 or 4, as I suggested, away from home. That's going to be important going forwards because we've got to keep believing, especially when we deliver a performance, certainly an organised and spirited performance today. We still know that we can add quality and grow with our quality and our belief. But, I thought we did enough today to get certainly a point out of the game.
Sean, your team started off very quickly and very aggressive in terms of pressing. and taking the game to Arsenal. Was that an intended target to try and get at them?
Well, to be honest, it's part of what we want to do. Most games, it's just that sometimes it doesn't work, or sometimes the opposition are very good and they play out the press, etc., etc. I thought we did what we needed to do tactically very well today, and I was pleased with that. And when they did break through a press or where they break through a shape, and then we still worked them outside of the box. Really, there was a couple of moments, and it's hard to keep teams like this to no moments, of course, because they've got some fantastic quality. But like I say, it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth, one decision, because if the game ends 1-1, I'd be coming in here going, I thought our team were very good, which I still thought they were in the sense of what we need to do to try and win games. It only really leaves a bad taste in your mouth because of a moment in time, and that's the shame and the unfortunate thing about football is if it goes out of your hands, because not forgetting, apart from the moment, is our team's actually doing what it should do. They've played deep, they've played deeper, we press, we get out, so they're actually doing what they do for the correct reasons. So therefore you need the officials to make that decision, because that's what my team's job is, to clear the box. So he's offside. So they were actually doing the right thing. So I'm not going to knock them for doing the right thing, that's for sure.
And is that what you told the players? Have you tried to...
Yeah, absolutely. We're pretty good on not getting involved in too much disappointment here. We know we're at the top level of football. It's a difficult challenge. So we don't get too, you get a knock, you get a little dent now and again, but you don't get broken. So there's a lot of good things to come out of our performance today. It's just one of the things. Sorry?
Could I just ask if you're a fan of video replay?
Well, I think it's the future. I think whether I'm a fan of them or not, I think it will come because, you obviously hope not to have to look back at some of these decisions over the season, but 2 points against a team like this, if you read that on our current league form and where we are, I think people would say they're going along nicely. So they've both been taken away by a decision. So therefore, I think it's highly likely over time that some form of video replay will be used. We'll see, but I think it is likely over time that it will be used.
And that point could be crucial in the season. Hopefully.
Well, that's why I said hopefully. I don't have to remind myself. I'm trying to get that out of my head already, to be honest. But it's difficult when it's just happened, because it is tough coming to play season. I must make clear, he's a fantastic side, great manager, great club. So, there's nothing against them. They can't do anything about the decision either. It's one of them things that went in their favour today.
Sure, your team looks so well prepared when it comes to the stadiums of the top six for away games. Are there any fixtures coming up that you really put a focus on? Think that they're the games where you're going to finally get these points away?
No, we try and have the right focus on every game because we're not powerful. We don't consider ourselves powerful enough, and we're certainly humble enough to know that it's a big challenge in the Premier League, home and away, no matter who you're playing. So we try and respect every side that we play against. So some of the intention of today would be what we do. The important thing is today, and in other games, we have to let the players know about the opposition, of course, to give them the understanding and the depth of knowledge that we can do in preparation. But it still comes about your performance, and I was pleased with that today. We're not trying to tell anyone anything other than we've got a good group of people who want to do well, play from a good shape, want to play mixed football. I've never said we want to roll it around, 500 passes a game. We want to mix our football and make it awkward for the opposition in order for us to gain success. And there was good signs of that today. So whoever we're playing, we have to focus and concentrate as much as we know about the opposition. We have to know that we've got to deliver a performance, never more so than when you're at some of these top sides.
Sean,
Yeah, it's a bit of a worry, but when you see players, particularly ours, everyone knows the honesty that we show as a side, and see him go off on a stretcher. I don't know any news yet, but obviously it is a bit of a worry until we find out more. We just hope for the best.
I mean, obviously, Ashley Brown's been linked with the Aston Villa, but obviously he's part of the
How many links? Come on, Liz. How many do you want to throw at me? Yeah. It's okay. Cheers, thanks.
Thank you.